Okay, we're good. We are live. Could be a little bit more centered, though. There we go. Perfect. Anyway, though, salutations, everyone. This is Terence here. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all doing well. Hope you all got to eat some good food or whatever you guys do on the Friday Eve, which is Thursday. As for me, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing very good, actually. Today's workday was actually kind of good because I was expecting it to be absolute shit, but it actually became a lot better than I thought. Oh, let me get this, get our music playing too. Okay. Also, welcome to the stream, Skeleton Entertainment. There we go. Hope you're doing well. Oh, just woke up. Okay, that's neat. And yep, and as for what else we were doing, we also, finished eating dinner as well. Yep, first, eating dinner. Oh, I swear a lot. I'm just really good at holding it back. Yep, also had steak for dinner with a baked potato. So that was all good. And then we were also watching some YouTube videos, and hopefully we'll probably get our phone plan back, which unfortunately we didn't have enough money for. But that's okay though. So I think, yeah, as you guys can probably tell from the title, we're gonna be doing a tier list, as well as a side of just chatting as well. So yeah. But as for what kind of tier list we're gonna be doing, we're gonna be ranking video game consoles. Because I am very passionate about video games. I'd say video games were a very important part of my childhood. Oh, let me get the other chat off there. There we go. And I'd say pretty much have helped me became the man I am today. Which is an absolute need, but I'm a need that's happy. And no, it wasn't just a baked potato, it was a steak and the baked potato. So yeah. So yeah. It's all goods. Oh yep, I also will talk about what we were doing yesterday as well. We were playing some Monster Hunter Rise as well, which I was going ahead and doing some yeah, we were going around doing some... Oh, wow, I just forgot what I said immediately. I had it on the top of my head, but then I immediately forgot it immediately. Yeah, we were playing Monster Hunter Rise, and we were pretty much just trying to go and rank up off stream, and we actually managed to hit Monster Rank 140, which is what we needed to fight against the Risen Teostra, so... We'll probably be able to show that off around our collab later. So that much is good. Everyone knows the greatest video game consoles are the Tyco electronic handhelds. Your sarcasm amazes me. Your sarcasm amazes me. Yeps. But of course, why don't we go ahead and get started now, shall we, since since this won't be a super long stream. And we also mastered the art of scene changing. Shoot. Yep, there we are. Look at all these beautiful consoles. Of course, we're going to be rating our consoles based on console features as well as games, as well as the impact they had on the game industry. And yeah, as you can tell, you don't see a single Tiger Electronic handheld system here. Well, I couldn't really find a list that actually had them, but I think this is good enough. So yeah. But since we are on the subject of game consoles, what would you guys say your what was the first game console you ever owned or played? As for me, I'd say the very first consoles that I probably would play by the Sega Genesis, I think, and Super Nintendo were my favorites, and one of the ones I grew up with, as well as I played decent bits and pieces of the NES, but never enough. I also like how they have Virtual Boy on here twice. Alright then. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. It's enough ramblings. Oh yeah, we also got some water here. Got some nice water. Go ahead and drink, because we are going to be talking a lot. Oh, by the way, I did not make this. Did not gather all this. This is just what I found. Yeah, there's like two of everything on here. I noticed it immediately. But I'm not going to go around and look for another one, though. That's a little too much for me. So anyway, let's start from the past. And by the past, I mean very, very early. Really early, as about as time itself. And I think that right here. See what the mouse is going to? This is the Atari 2600. And yes, I said before, games are going to have a factor. The Atari 2600. I think, I have not played the Atari, but I heard a lot of cool things about it. It also had some interesting games. And by interesting, I mean pretty much very bad arcade ports, as well as games that have space in them. Like, you name it, it practically has space in it. Space Wars, Space Heroes, Space Stars, or Space Dungeon. You name it, it has space in it. It's probably on the freaking Atari. And of course, Pitfall. But I think as far as features go, it's pretty much inferior to everything on this list. Yep, in terms of console features. Which, that's an important part of a console, too. It's what you can do with it. Of course, I think it might have some peripherals, too, but I don't know that many of them. So, yep, I think, Atari was pretty impactful, had some nice games on it, but ultimately, it's way too out of date to be considered anything above A or S, so you know what, I'm gonna put you in D tier. Although imagine playing a freaking Atari in like 2024 now. I mean, we don't even have half the technologies and stuff, and then you'd be missing so many frame rates and lag and stuff. So yeah, D tier for Atari. Yeah, why don't we go ahead and put the other one in there too, since it's already double. And next up, after the Atari, I think there was the NES. NES. What more can be said about NES? It is the game. I mean, console that pretty much saved the entire game industry. And I don't think there weren't too many bad games on the NES. Well, actually, there was a lot of bad games, but anything that had that Nintendo seal of quality mark on there was immediately God. Was immediately a God tier game. Like, I can probably go on about the amount of amazing games that are on the NES. Super Mario Brothers 1 and 2, Legend of Zelda, Metroid, even Kid Icarus, as well as some other stuff. Yep, of course, Zelda 2, and yep, the entire Mega Man catalog. Contra, Castlevania. When it comes to sheer amount of quality games that were on there, the NES pretty much is very top. So I think, but again, in terms of features and stuff, it doesn't really compare to anything else on this list. But I think for the sheer amount of quality it's on there, I think I'll go ahead and give you a B tier. If, where's the double at? I know these things. Oh yeah, yep. Put the double NES right there. B tier. Yep, there we go. Yep, of course, as far as the other NES goes, I think, they also had a lot of underrated classics too, like, Crystalis as well. Crystalis was really good. That's like another thing I could probably think of too. And let's see here. Next up. This is going to be a tough one because I can't remember which years the Game Boy and the Super Nintendo came out. Oh yeah, well, but we'll get to the Sega Genesis though. Sega Genesis, what we're next going to be rating. Well, like I said before, a childhood console and also a really lot of good games. Games as well. I think from the top of my head, the ones I played were pretty much most of the Sonics, as well as most of the stuff that was on the Sega channel, which if you guys remember the Sega channel, you're a real one. That's probably one of the greatest features there. As well as games like Gunstar Heroes. I think this other game called Bio Freaks, and then I think there was another one called Double Dragon meets Battletoads. So yeah, we played a lot of Genesis games. One of the greatest things out there. And it wasn't until the Wii's Virtual Console, I think I started to get more appreciation for the Genesis and started learning what other games that were on there. So I'd say 16-bit as well. I'm going to go ahead and rank Genesis in A tier. Genesis is a very worthy A tier in my eyes. Yeah. And I'm going to put the clone right there too. Alrighty then. Next up, of course, Super Nintendo. Super Nintendo's pretty much just overall goated. Again, it has the same thing that NES is. NES. Not too many bad games, but it had a lot of gems. Super Mario World, Link to the Past, Super Metroid, Secret of Mana. I didn't really like Secret of Mana that much, but it's still a great game. As well as Super Mario RPG. Yep, Super Mario RPG, Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy 3, which is 6, which is technically 6. Just some of the ones I can name on top of my head. A lot of amazing games around that time. Oh, yep, and there were some of the final fights as well. And I think Super Nintendo probably might have had, like, one of the best or better arcade ports of certain games as well. Oh, yep, Yoshi's Island is pretty good, as well as the Donkey Kong Country games. All 3 of them. And as far as features go, there were too many features we didn't really get in America. But I'd say everything about the Super Nintendo was too goated, so I think Super Nintendo will be our first S tier. Where's the other one? There you are. There you go. A much-deserved S tier. There we go. There we go. Next up is the Game Boy. Oh yeah, actually, now that I think about it, there was one other feature that I forgot to mention that the Super Nintendo had. The Super Game Boy, where you can actually play Game Boy games on there. Yep, that was also really good, so much deserved S tier right there. And you know what? I think Super Nintendo and I think Sega Genesis also kind of deserves an S tier too. Well, actually, never mind. Overall, I think when it came to games and contents and features, I think Super Nintendo's a little bit better than Genesis. Let's not get too biased. Let's not get too biased. Okay, then. Next up is Game Boy. There weren't too many Game Boy games I played, but I think the very first ones I may have played would have to be Link's Awakening in most of the Pokemon games. Pokemon Red and Blue were really good. Although, of course, one of my first Game Boy games that I definitely made a mistake on was this one game called Small Soldiers, and I didn't really like it. So I think once my parents had enough money, they eventually got me Pokemon Blue. And since then, I've been pretty much a Pokemon lover since then. So yeah, Game Boy's pretty much, very much goated. I think probably might have had like the longest lifespan in the Nintendo console / handheld. So I think it's pretty good. But I think the early models could have used a bit more work. There was no backlight, so you couldn't really play it in the dark. So yeah. And of course, I do know the story about it surviving the a bomb during the Gulf War. Yep, I know about that. And I think the amount of peripherals and accessories for it was ridiculous around that time too. So I think Game Boy probably deserves an S tier as well. Oh yeah. Pretty sure there was something else that may have came a little bit after it or before it, but it's not in this list. Oh yeah, Virtual Boy here. Yeah, we can go ahead and give our Virtual Boy our F tier. There weren't too many games on it. The red and black screen always hurt your freaking eyes. So yeah. I'd say for the novelty and what it tried to do, it gives credit for it, but its game library is very, very lackluster. And those eye strains, man. Yeah. First F tier of our list. And now then, we move on to the PlayStation, aka PSX and PS1. PlayStation was amazing. This is pretty much where we're also going to be start honing out A and S tiers, folks, so expect to see a lot of A and S tiers. PlayStation was pretty much goated as well. It had a lot of really great games that I enjoyed playing, like Twisted Metal, as well as Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, and Castlevania Symphony of the Night. So yeah. Yep, Symphony of the Night was really good, and it wasn't until like later I had started to look into other PlayStation games. And I'd say one of my other PlayStation games I also played was Brave Fencer Musashi, which if anybody remembers Brave Fencer Musashi, you're also a real one too. And I think that game pretty much came out just to promote Final Fantasy VIII as well as Final Fantasy VII. Probably one of the most iconic RPGs around that time too. Oh yeah, in fact, I think the vast majority of Square Enix's list pretty much made the PlayStation all the more goated. They had hit after hit too, now that I think about it. Parasite Eve 1 and 2. As well as Vagrant Story. And then there was also a really, really underrated RPG that I played called Legend of Dragoon. That game was amazing. Oh, yep. But I'm not going to go too deep into it, though. Because I feel like I would probably be here for too long. So, yeah. PlayStation. Although it's going to be kind of debatable if I want to put you in A or S. Oh, yeah. I think you can also listen to little music CDs on the PlayStation as well, too. So, that's probably one of the first really big multitasking consoles right there. So, I think regular PlayStation pretty much can get an A. Oh, yep, and this thing kind of is the enhanced version of it. That little TV there. Oh, that's a Game Boy Color, by the way. That's a Game Boy Color. Oh, yep, of course. There's this one. No problem. No big deal. But don't worry, I already corrected myself, because I correct myself really fast. But anyway, though. What's next? Oh, yeah, I think we did have a Sega Saturn somewhere here. Sega Saturn... No. What, you only found like one picture? You got like two of everything, but you couldn't find another Sega Saturn? Really? Oh, yeah, Sega Saturn. That's a console I have not touched that much. But I think the two noteworthy games, or three noteworthy games I remember playing on it were Virtual Cop, Virtual Fighter, one of them, and Panzer Dragoon. So, yeah. But I think there were pretty much also a whole bunch of other games on there that I don't know, so Sega Saturn's pretty goated. Oh, yeah, Nights and Dreams was also a noteworthy game right there. There. There haven't been too many Nights of the Dreams games, though. But I think it was pretty much just as powerful as the PlayStation. I think it could also do a lot of the same things, too, so, yeah. I think some of the PlayStation games were also on Saturn, too. Oh yeah, but I think I forgot to mention another really goated classic game that I also played on the PlayStation was Mega Man Legends 2. So yep, as far as Saturn goes, I think Saturn, I think you can probably get like a B tier. Now, I'm not really sure where the other one is. Looks like they only put like one in here, but two of everything else. Alright, now we're gonna move on to another really goated console. And that's the Dreamcast. Dreamcast was pretty grand. Which by grand, I mean it had there was a lot of things you can do on the Dreamcast. It had those little memory cards that had that little Tamagotchi looking things in there. It also had a lot of really, really, really great games like Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, to Jet Set Radio or Jet Grind Radio, as well as some other games I played like, what was that game called? Oh, Zombie Revenge, Shenmue, and who could forget about, Seaman? Yep, Seaman, that game is pretty iconic and hilarious and weird as all hell. That was also a really good one. There was also Skies of Arcadia. Also a really goated game right there. As well as, what was the other? What were some other ones? Yep, I remember now. Phantasy Star Online. That game was my shit. I absolutely love that game. I made a lot of online friends, and yep, Dreamcast was one of the first consoles in America that had online play, so online play was possible. So yep, had a lot of friends, ends in Phantasy Star. I haven't seen those guys in years, but I hope they're all doing well. Well, and it was also probably one of the very few games I got to play where I could create your own character and be the actual main character instead of just naming over a character. So yeah, really great. Really, really great console. Oh, yep, and let's not forget about Power Stone 1 and 2. Power Stone 1 and 2 are really great. So I think for those alone, we're going to give Dreamcast S tier. The only problem is that its marketing was a bit weird. And it didn't quite last. It eventually got overshadowed by the PlayStation, so we'll probably drop it down to A tier, though. Just to be fair. And of course, there's the PlayStation 2. Oh yeah, PlayStation 2. I don't think there's a lot of things that need to be said too much about the PlayStation 2 because every game on the PlayStation 2 was almost a banger and there was a lot of original stuff on there. So yeah. There was two. Yep. You could pretty much do almost a lot of things on PlayStation 2. You can watch your DVDs. The sheer amount of games that are on this thing that I can probably name from the top of my head were Twisted Metal Black, Kingdom Hearts 2, Okami. Those are some of my favorites as well. And any of the Gran Turismo games. As well as some underrated classics like the Dark Cloud games. Dark Cloud 1, Dark Cloud 2, as well as Rogue Galaxy, Dragon Quest 8, Final Fantasy 10, 11, and 12. We didn't play a whole lot of PlayStation 2 games, but the one I remember were all great. And I think another game I also played was Onimusha. The first Onimusha, and Zone of the Enders. So, yips. PlayStation 2 is overall goated as all hell, so you get the well-deserved S tier. Oh, yep, and there's also another one here. But, I kind of just want to save them like one at a time, though. Can I delete these? Doesn't look like I can. Okay. But, yeah. Moving on. What's next? Xbox and GameCube. Xbox, I think, my dad pretty much played the Xbox more than I did. I don't think we played too many original games on the Xbox, but I think the ones that I do know about are, Panzer Dragoon Orta, as well as, Jet Set Radio Future, and the Otogi games, all two of them. Which I did play some of them. I remember playing one of the Xbox demos, and I actually really enjoyed those games. They were pretty great. And then I think that probably might have been all I played on an Xbox, because we never technically legitimately owned any Xbox console for a while, but my dad pretty much did. So I think Xbox, it did a lot of cool things. Online was also really good. Pretty much can save games built into the Xbox as well. I think you could probably also maybe watch DVDs and stuff in it as well. So, although I haven't really tried or owned the original Xbox before, so, well, we did, but my dad kind of hogged it. It was mostly his. Gunstringer. I haven't heard of that. Oh, yeah, that reminds me. Gun Valkyrie was also pretty cool, too. So I think as far as, if I were to compare Xbox to that, I say Xbox kind of gets a B tier. Just from my own personal experience with it. Yep, and now we're on to... Oh, yeah, let's get the other one in here, too. There we go. GameCube. GameCube, I'd say, pretty much was very much goated as well. GameCube probably may not have the biggest library, but it pretty much had a lot of iconic games too. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker, as well as Twilight Princess, and Super Mario Sunshine, which I personally don't like, but I can see why a lot of people like it. It's still probably one of the hardest Mario games to date, of course. And then there was also some other games like Pokemon Coliseum and my favorite Pokemon game on console around that time too was Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness, which is the sequel to Coliseum. Also really great. Also played this game called Custom Robo, which that was also really great. Luigi's Mansion Jin was also good. And of course, GameCube controller was also goated too. So I think, oh, yep, and another thing that the GameCube had, the Game Boy Player. Game Boy Player was the greatest fucking thing ever. It was pretty much like the Super Game Boy, only better. Not only can you play Game Boy Advance games, but also Game Boy Color games too. And it also pretty much also helped boost up GameCube's library. So I think for stuff like that alone, GameCube S tier. I'm totally not biased, by the way. There we go. Oh, yeah, next up is Game Boy. Oh, wow, we didn't even talk about the Game Boy Color. Oh, yeah, Game Boy Color was also really great, too. I'd say Game Boy Color pretty much brought me Pokemon Gold and Silver, Link's Awakening DX as well, And I think probably a few other games that utilized its craft too. So I think, for the sake of it, oh yeah, wasn't there Kirby's Tilt and Tumble? Oh yeah, there's that game as well. So I think for the novelty of finally giving Game Boy Color, I think we're going to go ahead and throw an S tier for both of you two, Mr. Game Boy Color. Where's the other one? There you are, Buzz. Let's see how many S tiers are we going to actually hand out now. Yips. I think I may be handing out a little too many S tiers, actually. So, yeah, I think, let's go ahead and change it a little bit. I'll put Game Boys in A and then, colors. Leave the colors in S, actually. But, yeah, I think back to our two handhelds. I think we're going to talk about the Game Boy Advance. Now, the Game Boy Advance pretty much was everything that the color was and the original ones, but it was on cracked on steroids. There was a lot of great games, too, on the Game Boy Advance, too. There were the Super Mario Advance games, all of them. Gotta get this thing. Yep, all of them. Let's see. And then there was also Minish Cap, Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, Mario Tennis Power Tour, or just to name a few. But the only real problem with the original GBA is that still no backlight features and such. Oh yeah, there's the GameCube here. Game Gear, yep. Yep, I'm tripping on my words too much. So I think we're going to probably put the Game Gear here in C tier then. One of the first consoles that had color on it. And I can't really remember too much about the library, so I'm just going to put that in C. As far as Game Boy goes, Boy Advance goes, there was also Final Fantasy Tactics Advance, which that was also one of the really good ones. As well as Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. Pretty much everyone liked these things. So yeah, I think Game Boy Advance, I think pretty much deserves an S tier. A well-deserved S tier. Still one of the greatest handhelds ever. Oh yep, and we'll go ahead and throw the Advanced SP in S tier as well, since they actually improved on it hardware wise. Oh yeah, actually, why don't we go ahead and move the advance? Nah, we'll keep them there. Yep, our S tier list is growing. Oh yeah, there's the other Game Gear. Put you in C tier. Okay, next is the Nintendo DS. Yep, I think there's not much that needs to be said about the Nintendo DS because Nintendo DS is also very much goated. I think the only problem that I might have with the DS is that some of its games are almost impossible to bring to big screens. Which is why some DS games on console are inferior to the actual DS, so, you know. There was a lot of great games on the DS, too. There was Super Mario 64 DS as well. One of the first Nintendo handhelds to have 3D as well. And then there was Mario and Luigi Partners in Time, Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. And I think there is also the Pokemon Mystery Dungeons, as well as Pokemon Ranger. As well as Pokemon Black and White. Had a lot of touchscreen features as well. Oh, yep, and there was this also very, very very underrated game called Meteos on there too, which was also really good. So yeah. DS, I think I might be lowballing a bit, but I kind of want to put it in handing out a little too many S tiers, but but the DS is too great to not get an S tier. Really great stuff. As well as some great games too. Oh yeah, I think some other games that I have also played on the DS would have to be the Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles series as well. Echoes of Time. It's really good. As well as Phantasy Star Zero. Really, really good stuff. So, yep, moving on to, what's the other handheld? I don't see the PSP anywhere. Which I'm kind of surprised they don't have the PSP in here. Oh, yeah, they have the PSP Go. And these looks like just Vitas. Well, okay, we can just assume these are PSPs then. Because, you know, because the person who put together this tier list didn't really zoom in anything out. I'm a little disappointed by that. Yeah, I think these PSPs right here. Yeah, PSP was really great console too. And I'd say pretty much one of the very few that actually had video out as well. Until when the PSP 3000 and 2000 models came out. Had a lot of really great stuff. Oh, you can also watch movies with their little UMDs, and I think, in my opinion, PSP's very, 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 very great. Oh, yep, and I'd say the other PSP games I may have played would have to be the Daxter game, as well as Secret Agent Clank and some other things. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and just put that on there. Well, actually, let's just leave it off. Let's just leave it off. We get the point. We get the point. We don't need to keep redoing it. We don't need to keep having everything multiple on there. We gotta have this looking a little bit clean. We gotta have this looking a little bit clean, folks. We don't have to keep adding double in there. Let's keep this stuff a little bit clean looking. I mean, it's not my fault the person who made this tier list made double of everything. I'm not the one who made the template. But it does look a little bit crammed, though. We will admit that. Yeah. And hello, Katsugiri. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Yep, Game Boy. Yes, Virtual Boy is F tier indeed. Oh yeah, back to our other console we were ranking when we were talking about the PSP a while ago. And the PSP is probably one of the most underrated handhelds ever. One of the very few that challenged Nintendo to its themes. And so there were a lot of good PSP games around that time. Like one of the Twisted Metals, as well as Phantasy Star Portable and Portable 2. And another underrated one I recently played was Steambot Chronicles. Tournament, I think, which is like part RPG and such. Really, really great stuff. So, oh yeah, you can also watch like little movies on the PSP with those UMDs it had. And the UMDs were actually pretty unique around the time, so I think, for being able to compete with the DS, I think you deserve an A tier. Then you also had better graphics too. So yeah. I know some of these probably look like cloppy, so I think we're just going to use one. Oh, yep, and Monster Hunter Freedom Unite was also goated. I didn't really play it, though, and I didn't really get into the Monster Hunter series until I played Monster Hunter Tri, though, but I heard a lot of great things about Freedom Unite. So, yeah. Oh, yep, and I think we'll go ahead and throw the PSP in A tier as well. PSP Go, I think. And so, now that we're on that, I think we can probably move on to the next gens, which is the PS3. Yep, PS3. PS3 was really good. I can't really say it was as good as the PS2 in terms of good lineups, but it had a lot of decent games, as well as some underrated classics, too. Although I don't really think PS3 had that many system sellers. I do remember them constantly pushing out that Killzone game and saying, that game is the Halo killer or something. I remember that, at least. But I do have a few really good PS3 games, like the Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection, as well as 3D Game Heroes. Yep, 3D Game Hero was pretty much a big homage to Zelda and Dragon Quest, and that was made by Forum Software. There was also Demon Souls, the very first Souls-like game that came to existence. And I think another underrated game that came out on the PS3 would have to be Folklore. I think that's what it's called. Yeah, Folklore was pretty cool. Oh, yep, oh, yep, I was almost going to say Shadow of the Colossus, but that's PS2, though. GTA 5, I guess. Yep. So, yes. Oh, yep, GTA 4 also came out on PS3 as well. Oh, yep, and there was also the Ultimate Ninja Storm games as well. Those were really goated as well. So I think, as far as the PS3 goes, it had a lot of great games, but some of it wasn't too noteworthy. And it also had like a really neat little web browser you can do. So I think, we're gonna probably put you in either B or C tier. So yeah. Also, you were stupid expensive when you were first released, too. Gotta go, Terence. See ya. Thanks for the stream, as always. This was fun. Enjoy the rest of the stream. All right, Skeleton Entertainment, thank you for dropping by. But yeah. And then next up, I think, is the Xbox 360. Although I might have skipped a few generations, too, but that's okay, though. It's my list. I'm pretty much going for the top of my head. Oh, I didn't even rate the N64. Oh, yeah, N64. Yeah, let's go ahead and get the N64 out the way now. Okay, N64, A tier. Had a lot of really great games. A lot of real great games. Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time. You know what? Actually, S. Actually, you deserve an S. Mario 64, Zelda Ocarina of Time, Zelda Majora's Mask, Paper Mario, the very first Super Smash Brothers. And the list can go on. Oh, yep, and I think there was also this other game called Winback, as well as Sin and Punishment, which we also recently played too. There we go. Okay, good. Okay, now that we're done flabbergasting ourselves, I think we can go on and move on to the actual Xbox 360, and Xbox 360 was pretty great. Oh yeah, GoldenEye as well. GoldenEye for the N64. Oh yeah, Xbox 360 was pretty much almost about as good as PS2 in sheer amount of games it had, as well as all the things you can do. Also introduced Xbox Live and such. Yep, Xbox Live was pretty great. It's still great even to this day, and maybe one of my preferred services too. Apart from a few other Xbox services like Game Pass, but Xbox Live started it all. The only bad thing about the 360 was its red ring of death. Gotta hate that. Which, Lord knows how many people got pissed off from when that happened. Oh, yep, and I think there was a few other games that came out on it, like, there was Cameo, the other Perfect Dark game, which, Perfect Dark Zero. Banjo-Kazooie, Nuts and Bolts, and I think that's probably all I can kind of think of for the 360. Oh, yep, there was also the Xbox Live Arcade. Also had a really good amount of games in there, too. Guardian Legends and Radiant Silvergun. That was probably my introduction to those games as well through the Xbox Live Arcade. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give Xbox 360 an A tier. Only just because of the red ring of death stuff. Which is still a pretty high ranking considering how many quality games it has too. Which even I can't name them all. And now we're on to the Nintendo Wii. And let's say the Nintendo Wii pretty much helped me through a lot of my high school times. And it was probably after my high school times, actually. Which, around that time, it was the first time I had a job, and the Nintendo Wii was actually the first console that I bought with my own money. And of course, it had a lot of really great games, too. Which I still have like a huge freaking collection of Wii games that are in this box here. Which I can probably tell you how many goated games that are on there. Super Mario Galaxy 1 and 2, Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. Yet the Wii version with that was really good. As well as Monster Hunter Tri. Monster Hunter Tri is still one of my favorite Monster Hunter games to date. And it introduced me to the series as well. And the amount of underrated games that are on there. And I think one of the most underrated games I remember by memory is Little King Story. Which is like a Pikmin RPG. Which is like an RPG that's very similar to Pikmin if you brought Pikmin into an open world and didn't really have to worry about survival and a time limit. It was like a much deeper version of Pikmin. And there was also Muramasa the Demon Blade, which also was really goated. Which that was one of the very few Metroidvanias that I did play around that time. And did I mention the Virtual Console? Virtual Console was goated. Probably one of the best things ever. And it pretty much introduced me to so many freaking games I have not played and so many games that I haven't seen, even during those old times. Also, the web browser was pretty dope too, so... As well as the motion controls for certain games too. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed Skyward Sword. But, I would probably name every game in that box, but I would be here too long. Oh yep, and Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Mario Kart Wii were really great too, so, without further ado, I think, the Wii deserves a great S tier for its innovations, as well as a really huge catalog of games. Although some of them are shovelware, but if you look and find the gems, you'll be surprised on how goated the Wii is. pretty much equal to the PS2. So yips. So I think our next up in our generation would have to be Oh yes, the 3DS and 3DS. Yep, 3DS was pretty good for what it was. Yep, which of course the gimmick was it was 3D, but of course I don't think it utilizes its touchscreen features as well as the original DS, but it had a lot of really great games as well. And hello, Dark. Welcome to the stream. Oh, yep, and I agree, Katsugiri. The Wii doesn't get nearly as much love as it deserves and need. Which is why we gave it an S tier. Which I love the freaking Wii. And yips. Yep, and 3DS, as I was saying with 3DS, 3DS didn't use its touchscreen features as well as the original DS, but it had a lot of really great games like Kid Icarus Uprising, Mario Kart 7, as well as very first Super Smash Bros. Game to be on the 3DS, as well as games like Ever Oasis, which I really enjoyed, actually. Very underrated RPG game. Also had a lot of really interesting Mii games like the Street Pass games. The Street Pass games were good. So yeah. So as far as other DS games, there was also let me go ahead and get my list, actually. I don't have that many 3DS games, but I can name a few goated ones. I mean collection. There we go. Back. Let's see here. Legend of Zelda, Link Between Worlds. Just name shooting these. Animal Crossing New Leaf. Pokemon Sun, as well as Pokemon X and Y. Just to name a few. Oh, there's also this other game that I also got. It's pretty underrated, called Little Battler's Experience, which is kind of like Custom Robo. Only different. Really good stuff. So I think for its game catalog as well as some of those eShop games too, I think the DS deserves an A tier. There we go. Also, don't mind the fact that that most of this stuff is doubled. We're just ranking these individually. Yep, and I think around that time there was also the Vita. Oh yeah, PlayStation Vita is very, very, very underrated. And boy, did Sony practically hate the Vita. It barely pushed that many games that are on it. And the games it did have were pretty good too. Like Muramasa Rebirth, as well as what was that other one? Freedom Wars. Freedom Wars was really good. And then there was a Tokiden. And I think you could also play some PSP games on there if they were available on the Vita store. So Vita definitely did have a pretty decent catalog. So I think, but unfortunately its marketing was killed, but Sony kind of killed its marketing. So I think, unfortunately, you have to get the B tier PlayStation Vita. Sorry. Oh, you know what? Let's do something about our chat box that's over here. Let's move you over here. There you go. That way I can see your beautiful faces. There we go. And next up. Oh yeah, I think another Vita classic I forgot to mention was this other game called Oreshika, which is an RPG, turn-based RPG where you can actually get married to and breed gods. So yeah, PlayStation Vita's really underrated. Yep, and hello, Shinny. Welcome to the stream. We're doing a console game tier list. Oh, yep. Next up is the Wii U. Man, do I got things to tell you about the Wii U, folks. The Wii U was pretty much great. I don't think there was a single bad game that I hated on the Wii U, and there wasn't too many games that I did not like on the Wii U, apart from some stuff on the eShop. But the Wii U was pretty goated. Oh, let me turn on BGM for this one too. I forgot about that. There we go. Well, I almost thought the other scene was still playing the BGM, but I thought wrong. Oh, yep, the Wii U was also really great. The only thing about it that sucked about the Wii U is its marketing, as well as its gamepad. The gamepad couldn't really handle super long game sessions, but the features on the Wii U were probably some of the best features just on a Nintendo console to date. Does anybody remember Miiverse? If you don't, I will gladly tell you what Miiverse is. Miiverse pretty much was Nintendo's version of Twitter, except you pretty much didn't have to go on a website and do it. I think you probably did, but I think they probably did it a long time ago. But Miiverse was probably one of the greatest features ever, because you can pretty much post about the games that you were playing, post your thoughts about them, as well as pretty much look around whatever for posts they have on there and look for gaming friends. And you can befriend people and add people for your friend codes, as well as share tips, and as well as host game sessions. It was pretty much one of the greatest things ever. And I made a lot of friends on Miiverse as well. And plus, there was also some people who also drew a lot of really good stuff on Miiverse with the Wii U's gamepad. I'm like, how the hell did people draw this crap on this gamepad? Well, these people are super fucking talented. Dude, wow. I wish I could almost do art like that. And that was pretty much my thoughts, as well as some people also going on there, probably ranting as well as making jokes. So Miiverse was practically its own community, and probably one of the best features for it as well. And then once it got to the DS, it got even bigger. Yet Miiverse was pretty much one of the reasons why I have so many friends on my Nintendo Switch. Because I met people through Miiverse, as well as met some people through another Nintendo app called Miitomo, which around that time was really big. Which I probably won't get into what Miitomo is, but Miiverse was pretty much great. Oh yeah, there was also this one feature that the Wii U had. It was kind of like a FaceTime or a Skype call called Wii U Chat or something, where you can actually do like video calls and as well as get in touch with people through there too. The people I got in touch with there were a bunch of kids though, which I didn't even know there were kids around that time. But good times for Miiverse, as well as the game libraries. Personally, I think the Wii U's game library isn't quite as good as Wii, but it had a lot more core games on the Wii U though. Super Mario 3D World was really good, as well as New Super Mario Bros. U. There was Nintendo Land, and also had a lot of HD remakes too, like the Legend of Zelda Wind Waker remake, as well as the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess remake, and Xenoblade Chronicles X. Yep, Xenoblade Chronicles X. And there was also Tokyo Mirage Sessions Sharp FE, and also that one Star Fox game that came out on Wii U, which I kinda didn't like because of how gimmicky it was, but it was good. There was also that other Star Fox Tower Defense game too, so yep, there was also Bayonetta 2 as well. Wonderful 101. So yep, there wasn't really too many bad games on Wii U as much as they did on Wii. But I think its marketing could have probably been a lot better, and ultimately I have to pretty much give Wii U a C tier. Just because its marketing and its sales. Not a bad console, but unfortunately it underperformed. But it also deserves more love too. Next up is the PS4. Oh yeah, which PS4 is pretty much, I'm still pretty much playing to this day, and the amount of things you can pretty much do on PS4 is amazing. You can broadcast, make live broadcast on it. You can pretty much upload little gameplay clips. The amount of apps you have on it as well. I could probably go on for the amount of crap that the PS4 does, and honestly, I pretty much use my PS4 and most of my current systems for the streaming services. This is a little bit more than I play games with them, but other than that, they're pretty great. And hello, PFoul Gamer, welcome to the stream. Oh yeah, back to what I was saying. There was also a lot of really good PS4 games too, which I have a big list of PS4. I have a big PS4 collection behind me that I can just probably name off game after game that I pretty much played on there. Which I do have one such game, Monster Hunter World Iceborne. There was also Bloodborne, Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Oh yeah, I haven't even talked about Metal Gear Solid 4, and that was on PS3. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid 4 on PS3 was pretty great. I haven't got to play it yet, but I heard great things. Yep, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain, Batman Arkham Knight, I think. Yep. And there were some of the Dark Souls games. Yep, Dark Souls 3, I believe, and pretty much a few other noteworthy games. Which, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and read that list anyway, because why the hell not? Okay, here we go. Giant list of crap. Bed is gonna be so messy. Some of the games I have on here: Tokiden 2, Monster Hunter kind of game, Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, as well as Xenoverse 1. Really great Dragon Ball games. Code Vein, Also epic. Sonic Frontiers. Also good. Elden Ring. And Final Fantasy VII Remake. Which, thank God, we finally got that crap. And Bloodborne, which I do have Bloodborne. Still have it. And the Shenmue 1 and 2 collection. And let's see here. Neo 2, which also a really good Souls-like game. I recommend it to anyone. And an import game, Gundam Breaker free. Let's see. And there's Kingdom Hearts free. And Sword Art Online Fatal Bullet. Batman Arkham Knight, yep. Earth Defense Force 5. Outworld, this game kind of sucks though. Dragon Quest Heroes. Yep, Metal Gear Solid 5, Phantom Pain. God Eater 2. Rage Burst. East 8, Lacrimosa of Donna. Devil May Cry 5. Final Fantasy 15 Royal Edition. And Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. Dragon Ball Z Kakarot. And Tokyo Xanadu, which is an RPG game made by Falcom. Same people who made these things. And Transformers Devastation. There we go. So I think PS4 S tier. There we go. There we go. There's our... That's all you gotta say about the PS4. Would you rather be king for a day or get $5 tomorrow? That kind of has nothing to do with the tier list. Or what I was talking about. So anyway, let's move on to the Xbox One. Where the frick are you at, Xbox One? But to answer your question though, rather get $5. I don't need all that goddamn responsibility. Xbox One. Honestly, Xbox One probably just as good as the freaking PS4. So, there weren't too many games that were too different from what PS5 had, apart from some Microsoft exclusives. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention exclusives for the PS4. God of War, the reboot for that. That was great. There was the Halo games as well as the other things. Yep, Halo, Gears of War stuff that came out for it, but other than that, their libraries are very similar and their features are very similar, so I think for not being too different from PS4, I'll have to pretty much jock you down a rank. Would you rather have a PS5 or an Xbox 360? I have a PS5. PS4 versus Nintendo 64. I mean, that's not even fair contest right there. Yep, very good reboot indeed. Oh, yep, and next up is... I think after that... I don't think there's too many things to go through. Apart from just some stuff I have to re-add to the list just to make it feel more complete. What's the PS4 Pro? Nah, that's nothing. We'll go ahead and rate our PS5 So far, PS5 has been great. Hasn't been too different from the PS4, but the PS5 controller is really good. Which I do have a PS5 and it's on right now in front of me. And it can do a lot of really neat things. Has really neat apps as well. Also, that little Astrobot little tech demo that went around PlayStation history was pretty fun. But I haven't really played too many exclusive PS5 games yet. Apart from that Returnal game, which was really good, by the way. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink was also really good too. So yeah. There was also, now that I think about it, the Final Fantasy VII stuff that I have yet to get, which I'm not sure if I will get because I know that the Final Fantasy games take up a lot of freaking gigabytes. They take up so many gigabytes to the point where I'm too afraid to probably overload my PS5 with more games to play on it. But yeah, some of the games were really good, and it's also backwards compatible with PS4 games, so that much is always good. So I think PS5, probably for the controller alone, I'll give you an S tier. Yeah, I think I'm handing out a little too many S and A tiers now, but that just shows the whole overall quality of the consoles, though. So, yep. And now then. Yep, there's the Xbox Series X, I think. Where you at, buddy? Oh, yep, there you are. Yep, hello there, Xbox Series X. You're pretty much almost like a PS5, but you almost do everything except your controller isn't as good, first of all. But you run games pretty much almost as well as a PC does. Load times are very fast for a lot of your games, and you run a lot better than most of the stuff you have on PS5, since I do have an Xbox Series X, so I can say that for sure. And I've been streaming a lot of games on it, and everything so far has been looking very, very crisp. Even been playing Power World on it. So yeah. There's not too much I can probably say about Xbox Series X so far. Then S tier. Nah, I'm handing out too many of these, but that just shows how good they are. Any thoughts on the Mother series? Mother series is good. I haven't touched Earthbound in like a while, and I think I only heard about Earthbound, which again went when I was playing the Wii U. So yeah, the Wii U pretty much revived Earthbound. That's another thing I could probably give you a noteworthy for. Well, actually, how about we put you in A tier, Mr. Series X. You may run your games better, but you're not too different from the PS5. Then I think I'll probably just sort the rest of these double most of these things after all, because why the hell not? Just to make this look a little bit less confusing. There we go. And GameCube, you can go in here to... There we go. And then GBA, yips, GBA, yips. GBA SP, which You're not that different from the regular one, except you have backlights and stuff. Oh, Virtual Boy F, of course. Oh, yep, of course, the Nintendo Switch. Honestly, Nintendo Switch is an automatic S tier. I mean, let's be real. There's nothing bad I can probably say about the Nintendo Switch. It had so many great games, and it still has a lot of great games. As well as pretty much being able to maintain some of the motion controls that the Wii did have. I think the only bad thing I could say about it, Nintendo Switch, is the Joy-Con drifts. But then once you get like the Pro controller, that's most of your games will barely freaking drift at all, so it's a bit of an investment, but Nintendo Switch is too great, and I think it's pretty much my most played and most invested console that I have, so it's an automatic S tier. And go ahead and clean some of these in here. Oh no, we gotta have you two next to each other. There we go. Oh yep, of course, I think I forgot to mention that the Xbox did have the first Halo games, of course. Yeps. Oh yep, Xbox 360, you can go in here. Okay, Xbox Series X. Oh wait, I think that's like one of the slim PS3s or something. Oh yep, we can go ahead and add you. Wait, where did I add the PlayStation last? Oh yep, right here. There we go. Then there's the other one right here. Yips. A tier for PlayStations. Then A tier for Game Boy, of course. There we go. Oh yeah. We're just doing some last minute cleaning here, folks. DS. I think DS was in S. Yep, DS was in S. Yeps. Xbox here. Box 1. Wait, did I not rate the Xbox One? Oh yeah, Xbox One A tier. There we go. Your well-deserved A tier, by guy. Oh, you love the Wii U, don't you, young Terence? Of course. Of course I love it. There we go. Oh, yep. Oh, and then there's this thing right here. The Xbox Series S, which is pretty much an inferior version of the Xbox Series X. And I think just for being an inferior version of that, you deserve a D tier. I mean, you're not really that different from the Xbox One. X1, so why bother? And we'll go ahead and throw the NES. Where did we throw it in last time? Oh, B tier. Because the NES is a little too outdated for today. Oh yeah, there's the Dreamcast too. Dreamcast. Yep, Dreamcast, you were an A. Yep. Nintendo Wii. Well, gotta put you next to the other Wii. S tier. Now then, Nintendo 3DS. Yep, you belonged in that A tier too, as long as the other Xbox Series X. PS3 Slim, which I'm not really sure why they're treating you like a different console when you're the same thing. But that's okay. Oh, we're kind of done with the tier list. We're just kind of cleaning this up a little bit just to make it feel more complete. I have also A tier for this 3DS as well. Then Xbox 360 right here. And hello there, Ima here, Ima here, and John Dog. Welcome to the stream. How you both doing today? I have PSP. There we go. PS4. Yep, you get that well-deserved S tier. The second one, because why not? And I think we'll probably... Oh, aren't you like one of those freaking those enhanced Xboxes? There we go. Here goes you right there. The PS5 right here, S tier for you. Because why not? Well, I already explained why. There we go. Other Xbox 360. Wow, how many freaking versions of these do you have? Jeez. PSP Go, which that isn't even a different version, which is no real different from the PSP, so we'll probably put you right here. Do. Oh, what are you? Oh, there we go. We'll probably... Oh yeah, I remember putting you in like A tier. There we go. There we go. I think you might be like the PS2 Slim. I think... Oh yeah, we gave the PS2 Slim an S tier. Actually, looks like it's Slim. And I think 360. What did we get 360 again? Yeah, I have to keep reminding myself. And there's the poor Vita. The poor Vita that Sony pretty much abandoned. I almost forgot where I put you. There we go. There we go, and there's our list, folks. Yep, I think I may have handed out a little too many S tiers, but that's because of how goated most of these consoles are. Oh yeah, let me see my stream time. Oh wow, okay, nice. So folks, what you think of the list? Oh, pretty solid. Thank you, thank you. Much appreciated, folks. There were a few things I probably may have left out, but I was pretty much just going off my own memory from my own experiences with the console, so you know, pretty good. So I'd say this list looks pretty solid, if I may say so myself. So yeah, I think we can go ahead and go back to the just chatting thing. Or you can just reload all your scenes. There we go. So folks, that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And I hope you guys enjoyed listening to my takes as well, because I did have quite a few of them. Yeah, I did say this stream was going to be a little bit shorter than usual, so I think I'm probably going to go ahead and finish the rest of my dinner. So yeah. Also, before I go, I want to ask you guys, what are your favorite game consoles? Your favorite video game consoles, and what were your favorite games on those consoles as well? I'd say pretty much the console that I probably may have the most fondest memories is still the Wii. So yeah, because it was the very first console I bought with my money, and it helped me a lot for my high school times. Although, I'd say after my post-job thing, I think I may have felt a little bit over, but I think, the other console that pretty much helped me out was the PS3 as well. And I got that thing for cheap too. I think it was around like $200 to $300 as well. Sega Dreamcast and NES. Oh, definitely. Oh yeah, Sega Dreamcast was very goated. I'd say I made a lot of friends during my Phantasy Star, when I played Phantasy Star Online. Probably also a really good time for me as well. Favorite console is the Glum Boy? I have no idea what that is. Do you mean the Game Boy? PS2 with any of those Castlevania. Crazy Z-Bass dude. Oh, yep, definitely. The PS2 Castlevania games were really great. Yep, really, really great. I haven't played them, but yeah. What are your thoughts on Jet Set Radio Future for the Xbox? Goated. I mean, not much more I can say about Jet Set Radio Future. It's really great. I haven't played it myself, but I did play the prequel Jet Grind Radio at least. But I do kind of like Jet Set Radio Future's music though. Which I'm kind of surprised Sega hasn't really done any HD remasters on the Jet Set Radio games. But they are coming out with a new entry of it, so I'm looking forward to that at least. Oh, yep, they're also working on new games for Golden Axe as well. So yeah, with all that said, folks, I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream right here. I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my dinner and pretty much just spend the rest of my day relaxing. Let's probably catch up on some people on some Discord servers as well. So with all that said, folks, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being here. If you enjoyed today's stream, be sure to subscribe to the channel for more streams. Also follow me on Twitter for stream updates as well as random posts as well. Well, you can also join my Discord server for much of the same things as Twitter, as well as emotes you can't use on YouTube until we get that partnership. Which we need the watch hours for that, please. Please. So, yeah. Yep, you can also follow me on Twitch as well, which I'll eventually stream there, but I'll probably won't have a proper schedule. So with all that said, folks, I will see you guys next stream, which will be Friday, where we're going to be playing some Monster Hunter Rise with a Japanese friend of mine. But you guys see the waiting room. So yeah, folks, with all that said, folks, I will see you guys next stream, which will be tomorrow. And I hope to see you guys there too. And if I don't see you, then it was nice meeting you when I could. Also, I think we can actually go for a raid now. Okay. Now, who shall we raid? Okay, looks like Hiragi Emery is live, as well as Ch. And then there's Ron Mai as well. Yo, let's go ahead and rate Emery. Even though she's probably not going to see it though, since I'm not really a partner. And yes, I have seen all your weird stuff that you guys been saying. I have been seeing it. I know you guys think I'm sexy. Okay, copy the link. Now we're gonna go ahead and raid Emery, folks, so please try not to be too weird there. Here's the link right here. Post. And be sure to use the hashtag TerenceRaid to let her know it's me. Also, where the crap's that ending screen? Okay, there we go. Okay, ending now. Goodbye.